Hey everybody, Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Today I want to say it's so important that you continue learning this summer and not just learning in general, like we've talked about in the last few videos about writing. Well, today I want to talk to you about how you can do fun stuff this summer, like going to the park, going to museums, all sorts of cool outdoor stuff or field trip like stuff, and how those trips are going to translate into school success. So if you've got any fun vacations planned this summer, any fun day trips, or even just outings, I want to know. Hit that like button for me to let me know you've got something fun planned. And if you want to let me know down below, I always love learning what you guys are up to and finding out new things to do, as I absolutely love to travel and have been wanting to very badly very recently. So before we jump into my first idea here for you, my first reason you should go out and do something fun this summer, I want to encourage you to make sure you're a follower on Facebook, a subscriber on YouTube. So I have this upcoming summit today. Wow, I have an upcoming summit, and today I spoke to someone who told me about these field trips that I want to share with you. And I have some ideas of my own I want to make sure I give to you so I don't spoil his interview. But the first idea here is I love science, and his suggestion was go to a mountain, go see a waterfall, get outside, go for a hike, and see a different landform. So the reason you do this is so you get to experience these things firsthand, actually see the rings in the trees, you get to see how water changes from solid to liquid, you get to see what happens when rock is eroded. You get to actually see these things your child does and experience them, so that way when school comes around and it's time for science class, depending on your child's level, well, when these vocab words come up, your child will be like, hey, so-and-so teacher, I saw this summer and he's got a great story to share with the class. Or maybe your daughter's a little older and we're struggling with a concept. Well, we went somewhere outside fun, like I said, to a mountain, we went on a hike, and all of a sudden this bug that's moving a certain way now makes sense to her because he has this type of body part, or because his antennas look this way, she knows he eats this or can only do this particular type of motion. So all of those kind of seemingly unimportant details and observations and things you learn on a simple hike, a trail walk, whatever you want to call it, are going to be really important in a science class. So that is reason number one. I have a history reason for you as well as a math reason, so stick around. Now before we move on to history, I want to again tell you a little bit more about that summit. So it's called How to Graduate with Honors, and it officially begins on July 5th, 2021. So here, very soon, less than a month. So if you want to get some more details about that and be able to join us so you can see that interview I'm talking about, then join the Facebook group. The link is in the description. So we'd love to have you at the summit so you can learn everything you need to know so you can graduate with honors. So I promised you something about history. Well, my mind immediately went to Roman numerals because history is full of them. And I gotta tell you, as a substitute teacher and even as a tutor, I see a lot of students who don't know how to read them. Now, I'm not an expert, but I can handle V being 5 and X being 10, knowing when to add, when to subtract. A lot of students don't know how to do that, and again, pretty important in a history class. And the reason I know this, not only, like I said, substitute teacher here, is I saw students struggling to find information in a textbook, in a history class, because the textbook was set up with Roman numerals and they didn't know what they meant. I think they were doing something with the amendments is what they were doing, the Bill of Rights, one of those. And it just makes me sad. So I want to encourage you to go to a museum or somewhere else that has Roman numerals, because it opens the discussion for what they mean, why they're important, and your child will be familiar with them again, maybe in history class or another time they come up in school. So one more reason here for you, something else fun to do over the summer that has to do with math. Before I do though, if you're now just joining us, thank you for being here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube and that follow button on Facebook. So a fun math activity that then translates into school. Well, my mind immediately goes to money. So I know when I was a kid, especially as I got older and I didn't have a job yet, but I'm still old enough not just to sit around all day, I had chores, I had activities I had to do around the house. Well, it would be very easy, if you could afford it, to give your child money for those different activities, and learning that, well, this activity gives me this much, whereas this activity is easier, it gets me less. So not only is it about money and learning, okay, well, if I want $10, I need to do this many things, or if I want $20 by the end of this time so I can do this thing that costs $20, it also gives your child a chance to figure out some problem-solving skills. To decide, okay, well, this takes 10 minutes, this takes an hour to do. Well, I have to do this before I can do this, and is it worth my time? Because, it's going to take an hour, so would I rather do this one time, depending on what kind of schedule you guys create, how many times your child can do an activity per week, per month, however you do it over the summer. But do know that is a really good example of a skill that will translate to school. I gotta tell you, a lot of students struggle with decimals, especially when they're in middle school, and that is one of my specialties, is middle school math. So I've got to tell you, money makes decimals so much easier. So if they have an opportunity to practice with quarters, dimes, all of those coins that are really decimals, then your child will do much better in math class when he or she sees decimals. So those were my 3 ideas for you guys, some ideas to do over the summer, some fun things that, again, will translate into school success. So if you want to hear the rest of the interview, hear it from my speaker himself, then join my Facebook group. Again, the link's in the description. All you gotta do is click the link, answer a couple questions, and you'll be in. So you will be ready and able to sign up for my summit as soon as the link goes live. So thanks so much, guys. Have a good night. Hope to see you in my group and in my summit July 5th. Bye.